We're talking with Priscilla and Christine Sekas, daughters of Haralambos, or Harry Sekas, one of the founding fathers of St. Demetrius, and we're talking about their memories of the old church. So, what can you tell me about the family, the Sekases? Where are they from?
They're from the island of Lesbos.
Lesbos?
Both of them. And my father came here to America when he was 11 years old. He went to Haverhill, Massachusetts. I always asked him about it, and he never told me anything, who he stayed with or anything. I never knew. But anyway, he came here, and then...
Without any relatives?
And then he opened up a business in Wellesley, Massachusetts, and with an uncle of my mother's, and two uncles of my mother's. And then he went back to Greece and married my mother.
What was her name?
Yeah, Euphemia. Euphemia. And brought her here. And in the meantime, he was very successful, so he bought a house and
in Wellesley.
In Wellesley. Yeah,
and what was the business about?
It was the Wellesley Fruit Company.
Was it?
And he went and he was the one, the man that did the most of the work, because he knew that they needed fresh fruit there because they never had it, and so there was no big supermarkets, and so his store was outstanding.
That was catered to the Wellesley College.
Oh, not yet.
Oh, all
right.
right.
No, this is the beginning.
But and where was the store?
The store was on Washington Street.
Oh, Washington Street, in center, yes.
And now it's a restaurant, the store that he had.
And how long did he have the store, the fruit store?
Oh, he had it in the
Till he died.
20s.
1920s. Okay.
Yeah.
And now, how did he went home and married his wife, Euphemia. They came back and they settled in Wellesley.
Yeah.
Okay, and then.
And then that's where my sister was born in Natick, Massachusetts, because there wasn't a hospital.
Are we talking about Priscilla here?
Yeah, Priscilla.
Priscilla was born in Natick?
My mother was pregnant when she came back from Greece, and she had my sister, and my father got her to go see a doctor, and she had a private room in Natick, at the Natick Hospital.
Natick Hospital.
It was he took good care of her. He took good care of my mother, and when he came home, and he adored my sister. He really used to go to the market and bring her a present home every day. When
way to go, Haralambos. Now, how then did the family get together to start this church? Do you remember anything about that?
To start
this church, the St. Demetrius.
Oh,
because at the time you were going to the cathedral, right?
He wasn't around then.
Oh, he wasn't.
He died in '56.
Yes.
Yeah, and the church started in the
'59. Yes.
'59. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So how did you find out that the church was going to start?
Because they let us know. They sent us a notice.
Who did?
I don't. Lee Loomis, I think.
Oh, Lee. Okay.
Yeah, Lee Loomis sent
us
a
TV
notice.
guy. He had a TV store.
Everyone that was in that area, the Alavisos.
After that, we looked through all the telephone books.
Yes.
And looked, see if we could find a Greek name, and we called them and invited them. There was just about a dozen of us. And Chris Anton used to bring the donuts every day. Every Sunday. Every week.
Every Sunday. He made
and they
coffee
were donated,
and had donuts.
And how many families do you remember? How many do you think there were there in the original church?
I think the Alavisos were there too. The Markins, the Alavisos. The Alavisos have children in Wellesley still.
Really? So, okay, how many families do you think there were in the original church?
At the beginning?
Yes.
About 12.
12. And then you started looking for more people and inviting them, and they joined, so the church enlarged. And at some point, somebody said, this is too small a church.
Oh, that was for a long time after.
Yeah, about 12 years.
That's right.
Before, yeah.
And then John Condekas, God bless him, he was a wonderful man, and Vanjie, they were wonderful. They were always nice to us. And they moved to Weston and bought a house. They moved out because he started to have a family. And we watched all those children grow, you know. And so he came, and then he saw there was this piece of land for sale down the street from him. And he said, oh my gosh, that's what we should do. We should buy that piece of land and build a church there because it's getting too small. Now,
Yes.
the one in Newton is getting too small. And John was the one who really was the instigator of all that.
Tell me about the choir at the original church, at the small church. You said you joined very early on. The original church in Newton Lower Falls, the choir?
Oh yeah, the choir started, and then Mr. Savas came
Yes.
because he was teaching in Framingham,
Yes,
and he heard about
Framingham
it, so he
State.
knew we needed a choir. So he came in, and there was only a few of us: Alice Bassett, me, Ellie Loomis, and that I can't remember who
Really,
else
so a
was
small
there.
choir.
A small choir, and then he had to bring his sisters in because there wasn't enough voices.
And when you moved here to Weston, how many families do you think there were there then?
Oh, I don't know. How many families came after
Ah.
us from?
It accumulated.
Yes.
It got bigger and bigger. Every week we get a new member.
Yes. And your children, did
Yes,
they,
I don't have any children.
did they come to church?
He doesn't come to church now.
No, but at the time that
No,
He
you,
was an altar boy.
altar boy, yes.
But at the old church, but he never came to the new church.
No,
No.
Where did you get married, Priscilla?
he's a confirmed bachelor.
No, you. Where did you
Well,
get
I had
married?
to bring up my son, and I worked, so I didn't have
No,
time
no.
to get
What year did you get married?
What year did I get married? 1950.
Oh, so it was before the church was
Yeah.
started, yes. And where did
He
you
was
get married?
7 years old, yeah.
Where did you get married? Which church do you go to?
Cathedral.
The cathedral,
yeah.
yes. And you, Christina?
I
Christine?
got married at St. Demetrius.
What year was that? This one?
Oh, it was 40 years ago.
1937.
40 years ago.
At Newton Lower Falls or
No,
here?
no.
Here. With Father who? Gallus or?
No, Manicus.
Manicus, yes. Yes, and what do
I
you?
got married late in life.
Now, what else do you remember about the old days of the picnics, for example? I heard wonderful things about the
I felt
picnics.
very happy because I never had any interaction with any Greeks, and didn't go to church to Greek, and I just thought it was wonderful that we would have a group like that, and I would have some friends that were
Yes.
the same heritage as mine.
Yes,
And my husband always said, my father always said, I'm very proud that I'm Greek. My heritage is wonderful, but I'm American. I'm American first. And
Right.
American has done a lot for me, and I'm an American first. And so he would always say that to me. But he said, don't forget where we came from.
right.
Yeah.
And then you are,
He was very proud to be an American.
oh, of course, all the immigrants of the time,
Yeah.
and to this day, they're saying how proud they are that America has helped them so much, and they're proud to be Americans, but they never forget the old country where they came from.
Oh, yeah, and he helped them a lot, too. He used to send... My mother did so many packages during the war.
Yes, we have a photograph of Elaine and the Goya people sending packages to
Oh,
Greece
yeah,
after
my
the
mother
war.
sent
Yeah.
some big packages.
Yes, yes. And did you send them back to Mytilene, to Lesbos, or anywhere? It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, we went back. I went back with my mother, and my sister did, too.
So when did Kyria Efthymia die? Mrs. Efthymia, your mother.
My mother lived until she was 97.
And when did she die?
She died about 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good for her. She
Yeah.
97. And what do you remember about the Goya or anything else? You don't remember the picnics that Mr. Loomis threw, some picnics?
No.
Okay.
I wanted to teach Sunday school in the original church, but then there were too many people there, so I went to the choir instead.
I see. I heard that Mr. Loomis would give one of his rooms at the store on Sundays, so Sunday school could meet there because the church was too small.
That's right.
Yeah, and
That's right.
yeah, And I will try to find Mrs. Loomis then, if you think she's still around. I'll try to find her.
Yes, she used to have a secret in
Secret, I'll find her.
shows.
She's very very elegant
Yes,
woman.
and your family now, how often are you able to attend church now that you have aged?
Well, my sister can't go too much now
Oh, yeah.
because it's hard for her to get
Yes.
ready and stuff. But I try to go all the time.
Well, good for you.
And I sang with the choir for about 50 years.
Wonderful. Now, what advice do you have for the young members that are coming in now, the young families? You started from nothing. Mr. Harry and Euphemius slowly started bringing you in and
To
became
keep
members.
going because it's a wonderful religion, and it really teaches you so much, and they should stick with it because there's nothing like the Christian religion.
Well, wonderful. Thank you very much, Priscilla and Christine, for coming in. And if you have any more photographs, I'd love to have them, okay?
I'm going to try and look for them.
Thank
She
you.
has more. She used to take pictures all the time. I never took pictures.
We'll get them.
I was younger then. I was
I
much
took a
younger.
picture of Johnny Anton. It's in the greeting book, the book that have you seen that book that we have, like the yearbook?
Yes?
That's me out there in the front of the church.
Oh,
We used to
okay.
do a lot of work there.
Oh, I see even today how hard people work here. Anyway, have a nice day. Thank you for coming in.
Okay, how did it come out?